Good morning, good morning, good morning, beautiful cowgirls. So today I'm excited to talk and dive into things that you can do that are in your control. How do you set yourself up for a good ride? Let's get into it. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Raynella. Okay, so one of the great things to do is to just kind of get a read on your horse when you show up at the barn. So my horse right now, she's got her ears forward. Oh, she wants scratches. So see her body language just saying, I like you, touch me, be here. You're a cutie. The other thing I will do is that when I'm with my horse, there are of course days that I can't do this, but I love to... What are you doing, Mama? What are you doing? Oh, Raynella. I will take a minute and just give myself in my schedule like 1 to 2 minutes to just be with my horse and connect with them before I go putting on that halter, before I try and start asking them to do. So I allow space for that connection. So Miss Raynella loves, oh, you're so sweet. She loves touch. She loves scratching, but I don't force it on her. And so, gets tired. Hey, Mama. So I'll just kind of be here and just say, hey, I'm here. Where's your energy at today? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling cranky? Would you like some pets? Should we have a moment to connect? Oh, more scratching. And doing those things really lets her know, like, it just adds that moment of relationship building because it's a moment of giving and love and just like a hey, how are you? And you can kind of read each other instead of just jumping right in. And so that it doesn't have to be very long, but just a minute or two of that kind of transition and reading their body language and allowing time for some pets or some scratches. Allowing time for your horse to really kind of choose to be with you can really set your ride up to go a lot smoother. Isn't that right? Because now Raynella's like excited. She's like, hey, my person's here. I like you. The other thing that can really help you build a relationship with your horse is feeding them. And if you have them at home, this is of course a little bit easier, but even if you board them, you can still use this to your advantage because you can give them a handful of a ration bouncer, you can give them a chopped up carrot, you can give them an apple core of the apple that you ate on your way to the barn, but just something that is feeding them. And I really do think that there's something to feeding them that really helps build your relationship because they come to know that this is my person and they bring me, yummy food. And there's just something very primal, I think, for all creatures about getting fed and building that relationship through food. So use that to your advantage. It doesn't have to be a full grain ration. It doesn't have to be hay, but anything, or even some hay cubes, just something where you can give them a little something. And I think it really does help build that relationship. This is a very chill moment for her. And again, different horses, sometimes they get really amped up overfeeding. But for us, this is a very calm moment. And so It's finding a moment where you can connect with your horse before your ride in a super calm energy where you say, hey, like, I'm like a really calm, really safe space. How's your energy? Do you want to join me here? And you just kind of have a moment of connection before you start your ride, and then you're kind of more on the same page. So try. Okay, so here's another one. If you want to help set yourself up for a good ride, help make your horse kind of happy. So think about the environment that they're in when you aren't here, because if your horse is hungry or cold or getting eaten alive by insects, when you show up and want them to have a good attitude and try hard, they're going to be pissed and upset and cranky, and they're not going to have a lot of interest in what you have to say. So for example, here in my horse's stall, it's off right now because I'm talking, but she loves her fan, is obsessed with it. She loves her fan. It helps keep her cool, helps keep bugs off of her, and that is something that really helps keep her more comfortable. Also, this is an outside stall, so I do have a fly sheet on her to help keep all biting insects off. That really helps. I make sure she has fly spray to, again, help keep her more comfortable so she's not stamping and just working herself up into a frenzy. She's got a nice bucket full of fresh water. It does have a portagrazer, which is a slow feeder for hay that is just always full, and that again helps with her mind and does help with her ulcers, which took a while to get under control. And you can see that this is just one super chill, super happy horse. She's just really, really chill. So not everybody is going to be able to do every single thing at every situation, and that's fine. But do what you can so that your horse is not getting all into, getting worked up when you're not there. Do what you can to help make them comfortable and feel safe. So, that can be fly spray in a sheet, that could be a fan, that could be a slow feeder. But do what you can so that they're going to be ready to go to work when you're there and you want their attention. And being a happy living situation for a horse, of course, doesn't have to mean a stall. They can totally be happy grazing outside in pastures, but just make sure that you just do what you can so that your horse is feeling good, because the less perturbed they are when you're not around, the easier it is for them to transition into having a good attitude when you show up. Hello, cutie. So here's another thing that you can do that will help build your relationship with your horse. And it is literally petting your horse. I'm not talking about scratches. My horse is obsessed with those. But I literally just mean use your hand and brush them. And there is something absolutely magical for all creatures about touch. And so just using your touch and just infuse it with your energy of, I love you, I care about you, hello. Let's connect. Let's have a really good ride, and just really connect through touch. And horses, I think they get really into that. They feel you, and they feel your energy. Yeah. And I will do this literally over her whole body, from her muzzle to the tips of her ears, all the way to her bum and down her legs. And the other benefit that is really great about this is that you get to really know your horse, and you get to really know your horse's body. So you're gonna know, like when you run your hand down here, you're gonna say, oh, they got bit by a bug there, they're a little sensitive, like maybe they're going to be a little sensitive under saddle if I like sit right where they got bit by a horsefly. And you might miss that if you're using a brush. You're going to know if they have sweet itch under their belly in a way that you would have missed. You're going to know intimately their legs and all of the bumps and the bruises and exactly how much fluid is normal or abnormal for your horse, which means you're going to be able to do so much better at vet care and catching things because you're going to know that horse and just know exactly, every little inch of that horse. And again, this is something that it doesn't have to take hours and hours and add on to your routine. This is something that if you take off your horse's blanket or fly sheet and they're standing in the stall, it takes about a minute. And just really just that 1 minute of just connecting and feeling and hello, sweetheart. Just taking that extra minute or while you're grooming and brushing them right before you saddle or when you're done. This is not something that has to add a ton of time to your routine, but I do feel like you get you get a good return on this. Okay, here's another one to set yourself up for a good ride. Make sure your horse has good ground manners. Like, good girl, you're listening. Because, Renella, get over here. If your horse is doing that and not paying attention to you, they're probably not gonna switch. I know. They're probably not gonna switch and start paying attention to you when you want them to behave under saddle. Okay, the other thing I want to touch on is in order to have a good ride, you really need to check your mental headspace. So, if you are feeling super angry, super crazy, if you just had a big fight with your significant other or got chewed out at work, check your headspace. Do not be getting on that horse when you are still fighting with your boss or your spouse or your kids. However you want to learn to deal with it, if you want to take a meditation or figure out how to set all those concerns aside when you get to the barn. But you're not going to have a good ride if you are mentally dealing with something else instead of being in the moment riding your horse. So check your mental headspace. And there are days that you're going to be like, I have no business getting on a horse today because I am so that you're just not going to have a good ride. So don't do it. Figure out how to handle and process your emotions, because if you don't, you're not going to have good rides. So, are you ready, Raynella? You ready to go have a ride? Are we going to have a good ride? Let's do it, Mama. Okay, so I really hope that was helpful for you, and those are my thoughts on things that you can do to help yourself have a good ride. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe. Happy trails.